Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Ben here. Spring is approaching here in Northeast Ohio, and it's time to start getting ready for taking care of the yard. It doesn't need mowed quite yet, but it will within the next week, I'm guessing. It's actually snowing a little bit today, which is interesting. But I have my Cub Cadet 760 ES 33-inch Walk Behind Mower here. I brought it into the garage, and I'm going to show you how to remove the blades and sharpen them. So I will be using, I have a Milwaukee Fuel 18-volt cordless impact wrench. This is what I use, and it's very helpful. When I first got the mower, whoever used it last tightened the blades on so tight that I couldn't get it off. I actually had to use my impact wrench and a blowtorch to get the nuts off. So when I replaced the nuts, and I don't over tighten them anymore, and we're just fine. So like I said, this 33-inch Cub Cadet, it's got 2 blades on them. I've already taken the blades off, but I will show you how I did it here in just a second. These are Oregon blades. These are just high lift blades. Some people use gator blades. I just use the high lift ones, and it seems to do a fine job with my side discharge on my yard. So anyways, the mower actually just will tilt quite easily back and just rest there by its own. That's how I do it. If you want, you could take maybe a 2x4 or something and rest it on that. What I use here is what size is this? 15/16 impact socket is the size of the nuts. I'll get you close up here in just a second when I show you how to take them off. Okay guys, so here we are. We got our mower set back. We got our impact wrench, or whatever way you're going to use to get your blades off. I highly recommend the impact wrench. Just it's very easy. They do get expensive, but maybe you could buy a used one. So this is a 15/16 inch socket, impact socket that I use, 15/16. So basically you're just going to set it up. Make sure you're spinning the right way. I like to grab with gloves a hand on this thing. And just let it rip. And it shouldn't be on so tight that it'll be a problem. Again, when I first bought this mower, whoever used it last had these nuts on so tight that I couldn't get it off unless I used a blowtorch and an impact wrench. It was just a really big pain. But anyways, so you just take them off one at a time. And there you go. The bottom of my deck is pretty dirty, so sorry about that. And anyways, let's get to sharpen them, okay? Okay, so once you have your blades off, you will take the blade itself and just put it in a vise. Works best. There's probably some other ways you can get around just holding on to it, but it's a little bit dangerous. Put it in a vise. And then I like to put some gloves on, or at least one glove for the, so you don't cut your hand on the sharp blade. And then if you're like me, I've always tried to find the fastest and the best way to do everything. And when I first started sharpening blades, I would use maybe an attachment on my drill that was like a stone, a circle stone that I would drill and sharpen it that way. I tried using angle grinders, electric, pneumatic, everything, and those work, you know, great, but they're almost kind of overkill where you have to be really careful about taking too much material off. So I found the best way is just to use a hand file like this. This one is a Nicholson handy file. I just got it at Home Depot. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was pretty cheap. There is a, let me get this in camera here. There is a fine side and a what I would say like maybe a medium coarse side. And I use the medium coarse side. I almost never use the fine side, just a fine tooth, but this medium side works great. So you want to put your blade in the vise, the sharp side up, or what we want to be the sharp side up, right? And just, you don't have to do anything crazy. There's not a lot of pressure you have to do, but just do downward motions. Make sure you're not going both ways. You want to go downward motions, all the same direction to sharpen your blade. And then what I like to do at the end is, you don't need to sharpen the back, but I like to go back and knock down any maybe little burrs or anything that have formed on the back side, and that helps you get just a smoother, more uniform edge. So let me show you how it does this, and I'm sorry if it gets a little loud. I won't go through the whole thing, but I'll just show you how I do it. And again, you don't need to put a crazy amount of pressure. You just need to put slight pressure, you know, maybe a couple pounds of pressure down on the metal. The file will do the work. And then I'll go back on the back side. Take those burrs off. Just flatten it back out if I rounded it all on the back side. And then I like to check it. So we're getting there, and we'll just keep going a little bit at a time, like I said. This side is done. So, and then you just need to flip it over. And all blades are pretty much the same, but for high lift blades, they're all kind of shaped like this. You just flip it over, and then I will lock it in place. And continue and do the exact same thing on this side as I did the last. I might fast forward through this for you guys. Okay guys, just finished sharpening the blades by hand. They have a nice sharp edge, both sides of both blades. I will now show you how to put them back onto the mower. And so you'll be ready to go when it's time to mow. Okay, so we got the mower back up. Here's the blades sharpened. What you want to do with these blades, there's two of them. And there is like a rectangular notch in this blade, right? There's the same notches on here. And the way you want to mount the blades, let's get this in frame, is you want the sharp end of the blade to be the lowest, the bottom part that you install, right? So this would be upside down because the blade is on top of this lifting flap. I'm not sure that's technical, but so you want the sharp part of the blade to be on the bottom. So you'll install it like this. You find those notches, and then I'll just by hand tighten this up a little bit. Make sure it stays in the notch. And then you'll take the other blade. Hey guys, so sorry about that. The battery on the camera died, and then I had to comb my hair because nobody said my hair was going crazy. But anyways, back to where we were. I have this one just finger tightened on. Remember the blade, the sharp part of the blade goes on the very bottom when you install it. And you want these two blades on this particular mower. Like I said, they have these notches in them, and you want to mount them so that they're perpendicular to each other. You see, I'll hand tighten this on, and then I'll show you how they're perpendicular to each other real quick. So you see these blades are perpendicular to each other, and that's so that when they're spinning, they don't hit. If they were mounted any other way, they would totally collide here in the middle and just be a huge mess. So we have them mounted on here, just finger tight, and I'm gonna tighten these up, and I'm not gonna go crazy because I'm gonna have to take these off again, remember, because when I first got this, I bought it used and they were crazy. So can maybe hold on to the blade a little bit. Sometimes I'll put a piece of wood in there if it gets nuts, but just tighten it up enough. You don't need to go nuts on it. But so there, that's mounted. they're sharpened, they're ready to go, and everything's set. And then it's as easy as just lowering the mower back down. Okay guys, so we're all set. Everything's ready to go. Thank you for joining me. Again, this is just my technique. I've been doing this a little bit, and I found this to be the easiest, most low cost, just best way to go about sharpening lawnmower blades, and especially for my Cub Cadet 33-inch walk behind lawnmower, which I love. I've had it, this is the second year I've had it, and I do love it. It cut my mowing time in half. So again, if you have any questions or input, if I did anything wrong, just leave a comment below and I will get back to you. So that's it. Everybody have a great weekend and enjoy the upcoming spring. Bye.